an honor to participate in this the mind retreat, and thank you, Amelia, for inviting me to participate. Of course, interestingly, where I am, it is evening, so the day is coming to an end, whereas you are starting a day. And I just wanted to pause here for a moment and point out that the cycle of day and night always continues. It's always predictable. It won't change. We know when there's day, there will be evening and there will be another day. Somewhere in the world there is evening and then, but on the other hand, most of life is not predictable at all. Yeah. But there are things in nature that we can rely on. But there are also most things in our life that are not predictable. And we try very hard to come up with algorithms or structures or pseudo ways of predicting them, because we humans don't like uncertainty very much. So it just occurred to me as I was sitting down tonight, I thought, wow, it's 7 o'clock, 7:30 where you are, and it's 7 p.m. where I am. And that's okay. This is the cycle, and we know it, and we rely on it, and we like so much that we can rely on it. And we can look up in the sky, and there's the moon, and then it's a full moon, and then it becomes a smaller moon, and that's we like that. So I have been invited to talk a little bit about mindfulness to you, and especially the role of mindfulness in navigating trying times. I prepared some slides, and I don't know, can you see my slides right now? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start with just talking a little bit about what do we mean by trying times. And here I again want to pause for a moment, and I want to express my sincere compassion for what India is experiencing right now. Of course, the pandemic has caused so much suffering for so many people everywhere in the world. But what's happening in India right now is unfathomable. It's incredible, and I wished I could do more than just sitting here talking to you. But I hope that by talking to you, I can give you some strength, and that by giving you some strength, you can give some other people some strength, and it ripples out that way. In mindfulness, we are talking about being present with courage, having courageous presence. And by that, your presence can be a blessing to others. And so by being this calmness in the midst of the storm, that's the best thing that sometimes we can do. You don't have to do anything. Just being that calmness that people can draw from is enough. So hopefully we can perhaps do that a little bit tonight. So what do we mean by trying times? What makes times trying, right? So of course, through 2020 and now still, we've gone through multiple crises that happened simultaneously. Obviously, an unprecedented health crisis, a pandemic. At the same time, associated with the pandemic, an economic crisis. Yeah, everything fell apart. At the same time, a climate crisis with floods and droughts and fires and hurricanes and things just happening that we cannot at all manage anymore. Then in the United States, a social justice crisis where people are divided like never before. And also a political crisis in the US, also unprecedented, with people storming the Capitol with weapons. So what is the result of these crises? What is the result? Uncertainty, because all these nice little structures and processes that we had created to take uncertainty out of our life don't work anymore. They have become obsolete. Yeah. For example, I'm a professor at the university, so my little structure, my routine, I've gone in the classroom for 30 years. I've been teaching, so I know what I do. I walk in, this is my PowerPoint, this is my thing, from one day to the next. No, Dr. Stedham, now you're teaching on Zoom. What? Where? When? How? What? This is such a small example, but everything was different. Yeah. And we didn't know how long and what will happen after, and how do I not get sick? What do I need to do? What is this virus, right? So uncertainty. These times have become so trying because there's so much uncertainty, and the rules and processes and ways of doing things don't work anymore. Yeah, we don't know what to do. Okay. And with that uncertainty comes stress. Yeah. When we feel hanging there, free, without a net, we experience stress. All right. So now let me tell you what I want to talk about. So we have about an hour together. So I want to talk a little bit about stress, and then I'll talk a little bit about mindfulness, and then how mindfulness can help with us dealing with stress. And then we do some practices, and Amulya mentioned to me that some of you actually are familiar with meditation and have maybe even your own meditation practice already. And then I'll have some final practical recommendation as you're moving forward for you. So time to reflect. So reflecting is one of my favorite terms because it is different from time to answer a question. When answering a question implies like there is a correct answer. Yeah. Time to reflect means I'm asking you a question which is meant to stimulate thoughts to bubble up about this question. Yeah, not an answer to be forming, but thoughts to kind of appear in your mind. All right, so the question that I would like to pose is, how do you know that you are stressed? So I said when we experience uncertainty, that is associated with an experience of stress. But how do you know that you are stressed? And this is like a real question to reflect on. What kinds of thoughts come to your mind here? And the experience can be described in what kind of feelings you have when you think you're stressed, what kind of thoughts, what kind of body manifestations. And as these thoughts come up in your mind, I'm going to write them down. So I'm actually inviting you to unmute yourself and just shout them out.
Uneasiness.
What did you say, Amulya?
Uneasiness.
Excessive eating for me.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Fear.
Absolutely. Sense of fear.
For me, I feel sleepy when I get stressed.
Yeah. What else?
My breathing gets a little faster when I'm stressed, or, you know, like I'm gasping for more breath, kind of a thing. I mean, not to an extreme, but definitely I can feel it.
Mhm. Okay. Absolutely. Anshal, do I say your name right? How do you notice when you're stressed?
I don't know, I just feel like very uncomfortable and I feel very overwhelmed very easily.
Can I say restless maybe?
Yeah.
Kind of like agitated, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I need to keep doing something.
Okay. Anything else?
Unpleasant thoughts.
Hmm. Okay.
Even overthinking, actually.
Oh yeah, rumination. Like thinking the same stuff over and over.
Yep.
Oh, I should have said, why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should go back. Maybe I should write another email. Maybe, yeah.
It happens all the time to me. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like you want to tear your head off. Okay. All right. Anything else that before we move on just has to be on here? Okay. So you obviously know when you're stressed because you can tell me. Okay. So this is another list. You know, I've been teaching so many different workshops on this, and so people know very easily when they are stressed. Stress manifests in the mind, feelings, emotions, and in the body. Oftentimes, the body is the first thing that knows when you're stressed before you even know. All right. So you can use your body as a warning signal to know when you're stressed, right? Okay. So then the next question I would like to explore and reflect on is examples of situations that make you feel this way. So obviously right now you are isolated, locked down, but if you reflect on in your life in general, what are situations that you associated with feeling like that, tightness in your stomach, feeling having to breathe harder, uneasiness, restlessness, that kind of thing?
Yeah, like tough conversations with family or friends or partners.
Okay.
Facing a situation when you're not prepared for it.
Oh,
Claustrophobia.
social media.
Definitely, that's a good one.
Yeah. What
Like
else?
clutter makes me more stressed. Like a lot of clutter, like things not being.
Clutter, messy. Okay. Things not organized. Amelia knows, she was my grad assistant. I am like super organized. It's like, oh my God. It's, yeah. Okay. What else?
I think definitely feel stressful.
Claustrophobia in a closed room.
Fahad, what did you say?
Claustrophobia, maybe in a closed room.
I didn't understand.
He said claustrophobia.
Claustrophobia.
Oh,
closed spaces. I think what
oh, small spaces. Okay, I understand.
Not completing your tasks on time.
Oh,
Procrastination.
Yeah.
I was just starting to write it. Procrastination. Yes. Yes. That's good. Definitely. Let's put deadlines there. That goes with that. When you have a lot of deadlines and you feel like you can't manage that. Okay.
Even maybe misunderstood, like being misunderstood in a couple of instances stresses you out.
Maybe miscommunication.
Miscommunication.
Communication, yeah.
Yeah.
Unpredictable circumstances, or yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you also, so you know how stress manifests and you know under what conditions that is likely to happen. Okay. And again, just like before, what you told me aligns very well with what other people would tell me. Now, the situations that we've identified have certain things in common. So what happens when we have these experiences? There are situations where what you think you have to manage, what you think you have to do is more than what you think you can do. So the demands that you perceive that you have to meet is more than what you think you are able to meet. And this is to be thought of in the broadest sense: the resources, your skills, your time, your financial resources, whatever you can imagine is less than what you think is coming towards you. All right. So there's an imbalance between what you think you have to accomplish and what you can accomplish. All right. So with that perception, you feel threatened. And with that threat comes a fear, and uncertainty has that same effect. So when we see uncertainty, we feel threatened and we feel afraid, and our body reacts the same way as if we were afraid of a tiger or a bear or a lion standing in front of us. Our body cannot differentiate between being afraid of an imagined imbalance between what you need to do and what you can do, and a, a lion or a tiger standing in front of us, where our mind thinks, can I run away or can I not run away? I need to get ready to run away. Our body reacts exactly the same way. All right. So when we are stressed, our body gets into fight or flight reaction and prepares our organs, our muscles, to be ready, to be physically ready to run away or fight. Okay, so that's what's happening to us physically when we are stressed. And that's a problem. Okay, why is that a problem? Because of all this stuff you told me here and here. Because overeating, because you can't sleep, you don't breathe right, you're edgy, your mind is not working right. Okay, that's why that is a problem. And what happens in our body, so follow with me, a stimulus goes into your nervous system based on fear, right? And it goes into your peripheral nervous system. So there's no thinking. Yeah. It goes down to your very basic system, to the autonomic nervous system. No thinking. Going into the sympathetic division. That's where your fight or flight reaction is. And that's good because our body thinks it has to be ready to help us to run away from this terrible threat. Okay. But the idea is that after that terrible threat is gone, we go back into the parasympathetic division and balance our body out. We rest and digest. Are you with me? Okay. But we humans, we are so smart that we continue to go to the next threat. We think, okay, we met this deadline, but now, wait a minute, I have this other deadline. Oh no, now I have this fight with my spouse. Oh no, now I think I sent this stupid email. I shouldn't have sent this email. This will be a big problem. Now I have this threat. So I'm permanently over there. Okay, I never get to go over there. There's a very well-known book. It's called Zebras Don't Get Ulcers. Our body is designed just like other mammals' bodies, but our human brain is different from other mammals' brains. So when a zebra is in fight or flight and the threat is disappeared, it goes back in the parasympathetic division, and it goes and eats its grass, drinks its water, and rests and digests, and its body balances out. We don't do that unless we are mindful and remember to do that on purpose. Okay, all right. So what happens is when we are in the sympathetic system, and this is just a little graphic demonstration, our organs, you know, our luxury organs don't get much blood. Our hormones that I need to run away, they are, you know, they are out there in our body. Yeah. Not the pleasure hormones that make us all relaxed, but the aggressive ones that help us fight. Okay. Now, when I'm in the parasympathetic system, everything gets back into balance. And that's when we can digest. That's when we can sleep. All right. Okay. So our body is designed to be balanced between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic system. When we're during crises, like we have been now for an entire year, it is very difficult for us to have that. It is also difficult in general anyway, because we have designed societies that are very high performance oriented. And we continuously, most of the death in the advanced societies are stress related. Cancers are stress related. Many of the heart diseases are stress related diseases. All right. So we've not been very good about that. So mindfulness has been shown, and I've been trained to actually teach a program called mindfulness-based stress reduction. So that is particularly focused on reducing stress and helping us getting a balance between parasympathetic and sympathetic conditions through mindfulness. Okay, so the next thing I will do, talk a little bit about mindfulness and how it works. And we do a short little practice, and then I explain a little bit more, and then I'll do another practice with you. So mindfulness is basically an attention focusing practice. Like I just said a moment ago, to be back in the parasympathetic system requires that we remember to do that. Yeah. That's really it. So we have to pay attention. Now, our brain is so amazing. This 3-pound organ up in here is wonderful, but it's evolutionarily designed to scan the environment, to look for threats, to keep our body alive. It needs to look for all the negative stuff that possibly could kill us. So it is designed with a negativity bias. It looks constantly, what could hurt me? What could hurt me? What could hurt me? Right? And we need to take charge of it. It's a helpful tool, just like our heart and our stomach, but it shouldn't be constantly running the show. We shouldn't be everything it does react to it. Okay, so we have to learn how to pay attention. Okay, so mindfulness per se is an attention focusing practice, just like martial arts or long distance running. There are many other things that help you learn how to focus your attention, playing an instrument even, yeah, yoga. And I have my little yoga guide down here. Even kids can learn how to pay attention. They do that in grade school now with little kids in the United States in social and emotional learning programs. They have mindfulness, like they have the kids meditate for 2 minutes, you know, or 5 minutes, sit there, have their hand on their belly. And I have my 5-year-old granddaughter. She can do it for 5 minutes. She can sit with me. I got her a little sabutan, and she likes doing it, you know. And when she gets upset, sometimes she does it herself. She's like, have to take a breath, you know, and she breathes for a little bit. And sometimes she says, doesn't work, I'm still upset. But she tries. She has a tool, you know. So it's possible, you know. All right, so per se, it's defined as non-judgmental moment-to-moment awareness. It means that we are learning, we are cultivating to paying attention moment to moment. What's happening right now? I'm not thinking about what I'm doing when I'm done with this session, and I'm not thinking about what I did before this session earlier today. I'm here right now. Right now, I'm paying attention right now, talking to you non-judgmentally. I'm not evaluating anybody or anything, what I'm saying, what anybody is saying. I'm just taking in what's happening, yeah, without liking or not liking. It's completely neutral. That's what I'm cultivating, moment to moment, non-judgmental awareness. It's so liberating to do that, to not, you're walking around, oh, this is nice. Nah, I don't like that sunset. I've seen better sunsets. This is just a sunset that's happening right now. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to mention John Kabat-Zinn's name. He, in the Western world, he has been credited with bringing mindfulness to Europe, the United States. He founded the Center for Mindfulness in Boston, and he created that mindfulness-based stress reduction program that I've been trained in, wrote many, many books. He's actually an MIT trained molecular biologist, so very science oriented. When we are mindless, what are we like? Anybody care to say? How are you when you are not mindful, when you're mindless? What are you like?
Excessive thinking, careless.
Yeah. Well, when we are mindless, we are on automatic pilot. We don't even know. It's those things when you think, did I put this in here now? Or did I put this away? Or did I not put this away already? Or, you know, like I was teaching somewhere, and it's like the thing when he said, it's like when in the morning when I feed my dog, and then I don't remember whether I fed my dog and the bowl is empty. And I'm like, did I feed him now or did I not feed him? You know, that kind of thing. Or you're driving somewhere, and you meant to drive to the store, and you end up at your office and you go like, oh, well, I meant to drive to the store. Well, who drove your car actually? What, you know, somebody other than you, because you meant to go to the store and you ended up at your office, right? So it's this automatic, not present, right? So we are trapped in rigid mindset. You're not paying attention to the context. and this is one of our favorite little graphics that shows that mindlessness, stimulus reaction machine. This happens, this is how I react. This is what I say. Just evaluate or reflect on some of your very close relationships, especially with spouses or significant others. You develop very automatic behaviors. Your significant others does this or says this, and you do that. Yeah, it's efficient in a way, but is it skillful and is it helpful, right? Yeah. On the other hand, when we are mindful, we are paying attention to this particular situation, non-judgmentally, moment to moment. What's happening right now? What is he or she saying? What brought what this person is saying about? What are the conditions? What's the context? And what would be the most skillful response to it? Or maybe no response, nothing required. Okay. And that picture shows that we are creating a mental space between stimulus and response. And that's the most beautiful thing. We can have that freedom to choose how you want to behave. Even that freedom to choose how you want to feel. Somebody says something to you, and when you have that mental space, you can now choose, do I want to be mad about that? Do I want to just let that go? Do I want to just laugh about it? You have a choice. You don't have to be mad about it. Do you want to have compassion about it? Yeah. So between stimulus and response, there's a space, and that space is your power to choose. That's your freedom. All right, so the next thing, before I explain neuroscientifically how mindfulness works, I will just want to do a very short meditation with you, just like 3 to 5 minutes. And like we said earlier, many of you have meditated before, so this is nothing new. But just for those of you who may not have ever meditated, I wanted to give you just a little bit of a taste of what that even is. And again, the meditation, there is no particular goal. It's nothing about achieving an outcome. It is an exercise to cultivate the ability to focus our attention. It's like lifting weights in the gym to make your muscles stronger in your arm. We want to get better control of our attention in our brain. Okay, so what we will be doing is we will try to keep our attention on a certain object, and that object will be our breath this time. All right, so we usually meditate sitting, either on the floor or on the chair or on the bed. Some practices are done laying down, but most of them are done sitting. And sitting in an upright position, straight, your back should be straight and your hands should be on your lap, kind of a dignified posture. And the purpose of that is that everything is balanced and you're not slouching and uncomfortable, but comfortable. So your back should be straight, but not stiff. And you can leave your eyes open or close your eyes, but with a downward gaze, so there's not too much visual distraction. That makes it more difficult to focus. So just kind of settling in. And maybe let's begin with simply noticing that you're sitting. As you go through the day, you go through different postures, standing, walking, laying down. Just bring some awareness to the fact that you're sitting right now. Sitting on a chair or couch. What sensations are associated with this posture? noticing your weight of your torso, your upper body pushing down on the cushion, your feet on the floor. You might notice the warmth of your hand, of your hands if you have them on your thighs. And now if you can, see whether you can bring your attention to your breathing. Wherever you notice your breath right now most dominantly, either at the tip of your nose, your chest, your belly, the back of your throat, and just let your attention rest with your breathing, just noticing your body being breathed. Just observing as you're inhaling and exhaling, an ongoing process, effortless, breathing in, breathing out, and not trying to change your breathing, just as a neutral observer, just noticing your breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing you have to do. You can just rest with the breathing that's happening effortlessly. And if your mind wanders away, which it undoubtedly will do, that's the nature of our mind. Thoughts come into your mind about this session perhaps, or what you will be doing today. As soon as you've noticed that a thought came into your mind, that's being mindful. And now you can choose to bring your attention back to your breath, noticing your breathing, breathing in, breathing out. With each breath, you're bringing oxygen and life to each cell in your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Nothing you have to do. And again, if your mind wanders away and you notice, gentle and with kindness, escort your mind back to your breath. And now let's open our eyes. So this is just a short little taste of what a practice is like. And I'll explain a little bit more here in just a few minutes on how you can cultivate a practice on a daily basis. But I just wanted you to have a taste of what this is like. So how does it work? What does a practice like that do? It seems so simple, and a question would arise. So how is that supposed to do anything? Okay. So fortunately, there's so much research now. During the last 10 years, the research on mindfulness has grown exponentially in all fields, not just in neuroscience, but with the advent of magnetic resonance imaging, we are able to actually look at the brain and see what happens with people who have a meditation practice and meditate regularly and can do experiments with and compare people who don't meditate with people who meditate. And we can see the changes in the brain, right? So we can not only see changes in behaviors and thoughts and feelings, but we can actually see the neuroscientific changes in the brain. Before I explain that, let me tell you just a little bit about the brain. The human brain basically consists of three distinguishable parts: the very basic mammalian brain, the very basic amphibian brain, the mammalian brain, the center, the midbrain, and then the human brain, the cortex. This we have in common with very basic animals. This is where your fight or flight reactivity is. Then the mammalian brain is where the nurturing part, the emotions are. And then evolutionarily, we only humans have the cortex, especially the prefrontal cortex. That's where your decision making, executive function, time sense is. Yeah. And evolutionarily, the idea is that for humans, the three parts of the brain are integrated and work very well together. Unfortunately, as of now, this part of the brain is very powerful and oftentimes still runs the show. Okay? So when stimuli come in, they are not necessarily transferred across the entire brain. And the behaviors in response to the stimulus do not involve the human part of the brain, if you follow me. Through mindfulness, we are improving the interconnectivity, the synapses across the brain. And we are thickening the prefrontal cortex. So we are basically participating in our own evolution through meditation by improving the integration among the three parts of the brain. Yeah. And it allows us to choose our behavior rather than letting this little guy run the show. Okay. And this is possible because of neuroplasticity, and many of you might know what that is, which is the brain's ability to change and adapt. And we know that from research with on stroke victims where the brain was able to recover and take over functions of the brain that were damaged during a stroke. And through meditation, we are able to change the brain. Yeah. All right. So this is just a reminder of that. And then because of the changes in the brain, we have increased awareness of our thoughts, feelings, sensations, and behaviors, more self-awareness, social awareness. We self-regulate our emotions. Yeah, we choose. That's that mental space that I was talking about earlier. We respond rather than react, and we simply pay more attention. Okay, that's that mental space. All right. So I have a few minutes left, so I will do another practice if you like. And Amulya thought that would be a nice a kind of part of this session today. Rather than explaining more things, I will do another maybe 5-minute practice, and I'll do a little bit of a body scan, and then breath and sounds, and then end with a just very short loving kindness meditation. So doing all that in 5 to 6 minutes will be a lot, but it gives you a taste of the different kinds of practices. And then I will close the session with some recommendations and some websites and recommendations for apps that you can do your own practice, and being isolated this might be actually a very good time to start it. You know, you don't have as many distractions. And the recommendation is to practice about 20 minutes a day. But we find the research finds results 10 to 15 minutes a day. After 3 months, there are changes in the brain. Okay. All right. So let's get back into our familiar, comfortable position now, upright, hands wherever you like them, in your lap, eyes open or closed, and feet flat on the ground. And again, let's begin with just simply noticing that we are sitting. And coming to the breath, noticing our breathing. Noticing the movement in the chest or the belly, or noticing the breath at the tip of the nose. So we are breathing in and out, and simply allowing our mind and attention to rest with the breathing. There's nothing to do right now. And if thoughts enter your mind and you notice, that's okay. That's the nature of our mind. Just acknowledge the thought. Hello, thought. Nice to see you, nice to notice you, but I'm now focusing on my breathing, and shift your attention with kindness back to your breath. And now, when you're ready, let's shift our attention to our feet and simply notice any sensations around your feet. Are they relaxed? Is there any warmth? Any coolness in that part of your body? Perhaps any moisture, dryness. And then shifting your attention to your ankles, very important joint in our body, allowing us to walk, jump, and shifting your attention upward your legs, to your lower leg, the shins, the front of the leg, hard, the back of the lower leg, the calf, strong muscle, soft. And then coming to the knees, again a very important joint, allowing us to sit, stand, walk. What sensations are there right now? Relaxation, comfort. And then coming to your thighs and hamstrings. As you're sitting, you might notice the weight of your upper body pushing down on those muscles. And then coming to your buttocks, again being squished on the chair or the couch. And then coming to your lower back. You might notice some tension there. But just noticing, not evaluating it as good or bad. Just allowing it to be the way it is. And then coming to the spine, very bottom of the spine. Now following your spine upward, vertebrae by vertebrae, lower back, the middle back, and the upper back through the shoulder blades to your shoulders. And again, shoulders might be an area where you notice some tension. And again, just noticing it, letting it be just the way it is, because it is. And then coming to the neck and the jaw and your face. And again here, there might be some tightness around your eyes, lots of tiny muscles in your face with which we express our emotions all day long. What's there right now? Now coming to the front of your body, the soft part of our body. That's where you notice motion as you're breathing in and out. All the vital organs are there. What sensations can you notice? And just being with what is there. And now for just a moment, let's shift our attention to our hearing. And not straining to listen for any particular sounds, but simply just receiving the sounds that are in your environment right now. What's there? What's perceivable to you in your room that you are in the building you are in? Maybe you notice sounds even from outside. And just being with the soundscape around you. Not trying to figure out what it is or where it comes from and why it's there, but just being with what's there. All our senses, our body, touch, hearing. And if your mind wanders away from sounds, maybe back to the body or the breath, that's okay. As soon as you notice, you have choice. You can bring it back to the sounds. Our chosen object. And now let's close with wishes of well-being and compassion. And we begin with wishes of well-being and compassion for ourselves. So simply follow my guidance and repeat in your mind the wishes as I guide you. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe and protected. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe and protected. May I be peaceful and at ease. And now in your mind's eye, picture somebody who has taken care of you and cared for you. And let's send wishes of well-being to that person. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and protected. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and protected. May you be peaceful and at ease. And now, in your mind's eye, picture a person that you take care of, that you care for. And let's send that person wishes of well-being. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and protected. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and protected. May you be peaceful and at ease. And let's close with sending wishes of well-being to all beings in the world. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe and protected. May we all be peaceful and at ease. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe and protected. May we all be peaceful and at ease. And now for just a moment, let's shift our attention back to the breath, our anchor. You can always go to the breath. The breath is always in the presence. You can never go to a future breath or a past breath. There's only this breath, this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And we're a little bit over, so let me just close real quick. This is just an acronym for a very helpful practice that I want to give you, on your way to proceed, taking what I covered tonight with you. It's RAIN, and it stands for Recognize, Allow, Investigate, and Nurture. And what that means is recognize when you get stressed, and you know that now. You can bring awareness to that. Or when you get uncomfortable, when you get scared, recognize. Allow means don't panic. It's okay. It's okay to be stressed. It's okay to be afraid. Investigate. Mental space. What's happening? Stepping away, letting it be, and then choose your response with compassion and kindness. Gratitude. Gratitude is a very helpful remembering. When you get caught in everything is so terrible, to step back and say, well, what is good? I am grateful how I started today. We know there's day and night. We know the moon is always there. We know the stars are there. The sun is there. We know nature happens. Yeah, flowers come. Snow. There will be snow. Somehow the cycle is there. I'm going to skip that for now for time, but I will give you this acronym for mindful communication. It stands for, it says wait, but it stands for why am I talking? So mindful communication, also remembering about that mental space. Pause. You don't have to immediately answer. It's the most beautiful thing when you remember, wow, I don't have to react. I can respond. Okay. So formal practices is what I just did with you, those meditations. And this is my granddaughter. My daughter took that. They stayed with us at the very beginning of the pandemic. And I like bringing this up because if a 5-year-old can do it, I think that encourages everybody also to do it. And then informal practices. If it's hard for you to sit for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, to focus on what you're doing. When you're doing dishes, focus on that. When you're eating, mindful eating, just really look at your phone. Don't watch TV. Don't just eat. It's the most amazing thing to realize how good the food actually tastes, and then one of you said overeating when you're stressed. When you're actually paying attention to eating, you're much less likely to overeat because you notice when you're full, actually, so that's a wonderful practice. Or when you're walking, to actually notice that you're walking, so these are some of the apps that I like. Insight Timer, even though lately they've been putting on some teachers that I don't know, so I don't know. You have to try out and see what you like. Then I have a website, actually, YvonneStedham.com, and under the Mindful Leadership tab, I have some of my own meditations. You're welcome to listen to those. They are just, some of them are 10 minutes long. And so if you're comfortable with how I did it tonight, you might like that. You're welcome to use those. I'll read that quote here in a minute. This is some of my students like this. 10% Happier. He has a website as well. Then these are some of the readings, literature that you might be interested in. These are some websites, and these are some more apps. And I don't know, Amelia, whether there's a way where you can post the slides or distribute these last few slides somehow with that information. That might be the easiest. But I wanted to leave you with this quote. So mindfulness is that quality that every human being already possesses, okay? So it's nothing it's not something you have to conjure up. You just have to learn how to access it. Yeah, and it's just so beautiful. You can do it anywhere. You don't need to pay for it. You don't need any special clothes. You don't have to go any special place. You, it's just there. We just have to cultivate it for and it's the most amazing tool. It certainly has changed my life, and I've seen it change so many people's life. I can't even tell you, people who were really suffering, like Serini, when you said the rumination, where it was just causing so much suffering because they couldn't stop thinking, and then you get a break from yourself. Yeah. So, and again, I'm a little bit over time, but we also started a little bit later. So if you have any questions, Amulya, I'd give it over to you as the hostess.
Hey, Yvonne, one question. So do you recommend guided meditation or just the usual ones without guided ones?
That's a very good question. I would say at the very beginning, if you're at the very beginning of starting a practice, definitely guided. And especially if you're at the very beginning, it's actually the best to do the body scan. That's what I did at the beginning of our last practice. It's a little easier because you're not just focusing on one thing. You're moving your attention through your body, but definitely guided. And I even use guided meditation, especially when know I'm a little bit stressed. And then it's very helpful to have somebody guide me rather than me having to stay on myself. Yeah.
And do you usually do it in the mornings when you wake up, or the time really doesn't matter for you?
People have different preferences. Most experienced practitioners, I've been doing this for 11 years now, end up doing it in the morning. It just seems it becomes that way. But when I first started, I couldn't do more than 10 minutes, and I did like twice a day, 10 minutes, 10 in the morning, and then at lunch 10 minutes or something like that. There's no, you have to do a 10 minute, 20 minutes in the morning, whatever works for you.
Hi, Professor. It's good to see you after so many years.
Oh my
Do you remember me?
God. Yeah. Wow, I would not have recognized you.
Yeah, I've taken off my beard. I just took it off a week ago, but yeah, it's good to see you. That was a really good session.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. That is so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Reunion. Uh-huh.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank you for that session. Yeah.
you are welcome. Thanks for being here.
Of course.
Okay. Anything else?
Just want to say thank you, Yvonne. It was really, really helpful. So really appreciate you jumping on the call and helping us with mindfulness.
You're welcome. And you've recorded it, you said, Amulya?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I hope it helps you and others, and you're in my heart, and I'll think about all of you and the people in India, that things will get better soon.
Thank you,
Okay.
Yvonne. That means a lot. And as always, super grateful for everything, that you've shared now, and, that you continue to do, and all of the work that you do. Thank you so much. And
Of course. My pleasure.
I hope this is helpful for, everyone who's been on this call. I know it's always a little tricky in terms of, okay, what is mindfulness? How do I even practice meditation? Like, what is it? As people tell you to pay attention to things, and then you don't really know the process, or like how, you know to go to the gym and then lift weights and then you get muscles. But then, what is the exercise to kind of cultivate, your brain and, your thinking? And it's so beautiful that we have that kind of power, within us. So that's really Brilliant. Navneet. So thank you again. Thank you, all of you, for showing up today. It means a lot. And I just want to throw it out there. Our donation links are out there. If you think that you've got, something out of this session, whatever it may be, as little as it is, it goes a long way for someone who's in need. And I think we need to be together, come together and for a better world. And that's why we're here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Yvonne. And
Bye-bye.